So as recording is in progress, we should probably say a few words.
Dandavat Pranas Maharaj. Good morning, obeisances.
Dandavat, Dandavat. And I don't know why I can't connect to Facebook today.
Paramananda Prabhu.
Paramananda Prabhu. Govinda Govinda. Prabhu Dandavat. And Paneshwari Dandavat. On the move. Paramananda Prabhu on the move, as we can see. Hare Krishna. Beautiful. Krishna's nature. Wow. I'm just going to change the lighting. Do I look very dark? It feels like I look very dark.
No, Maharaj?
Oh, it's okay, all right.
Yeah.
It is very dark, and I don't have the light on so bright, but here we are. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhara Shri Vasari Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Guru Gauranga, Guru Gauranga. So devotees are gathering one by one. Let us begin. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitangscha. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvaje Namaha. So, dear devotees, welcome to the night, the middle of the night group from Brazil. Hare Krishna. And the evening group from California and around and about. And the daytime group, at least Radha Sundari in India. And daytime Parvanand Prabhu in Japan. And Priyanana, almost daytime, in St. Petersburg. Hare Krishna. And Vrindavaneshri joined us also from Brazil. And Narottam Nitai joined us. And we had an overlapping question, I think, from Narottam Nitai. And we've been missing your association for the last few gatherings. So we've been keeping your question. I think Praneshri...
Already in the chat, Maharaj, already in the chat.
Oh, it's already in the chat. Hare Krishna. So good to have you all with us. And Facebook, what can I do? Nothing. I don't seem to be able to get it to work. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Garadhara, Shri Vasadi, Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All right, well, Okay, well, as often, I'll have to ask Praneshri just to keep me a little informed of who's on Facebook. But to all of you, our obeisances, we began with obeisances to the devotees and our obeisances to all of you who have arrived in the last couple of minutes. So we'll continue with a question from Praneshwari. Oh, not from Praneshwari Devirasi. She sent the question, but the question is from Narottam Nitai Prabhu. So your question, Narottam Nitai, please accept my humble obeisances. I wanted to ask, so indeed, yes, I wanted to ask if you would like to answer that there is no loss or diminution in devotional advancement, as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Could you speak on this topic briefly, on how we can fulfill the longing of the intensity of devotional service? If you would like to answer. All right. So, well, as often, the very first answer that comes to my mind that I think that Srila Gurudev would say would be sadhu sangha. To have the association of the devotees, in the association of devotees, then we will get encouragement to do our devotional life properly, to keep up not, as Guru Maharaj said, we should not keep a feeble fire burning. Srila Guru Maharaj said that we should keep an intense fire, the fire of that very necessity, excuse me. Excuse me, all right. The fire of that very necessity, which is the longing of the intensity of devotional service. So, Narottam Nitai Prabhu, the continual stress, and I was going to say especially on back to basics, but especially in our devotional life where we have to keep our foundation strong always. And that is to do the things we're meant to do, to have our sadhana, means regular reading, regular singing if we can, or I know in some flats, in some places where people live, it's so public, you can hear everything that's happening next door. We were in a very new house, like a brand new house on a brand new housing estate, and you could hear everything that happened next door. Very thin walls. So we can understand that to sing at 4 in the morning, at 5 in the morning, may not go down well with the neighbors, but you can sing quietly to oneself or just gently out aloud, but singing with the meaning of these songs. As Srila Guru Maharaj said, as Srila Gurudev said, everything is in, okay, many places I know, but in Sharanagati, the songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Gurudev said that in the Kirtan Guide, everything we need is in the Kirtan Guide. We will get everything from there. But as far as possible, we'll try to sing with others. But when we can't be with others, we should try to maintain our sadhana, because there is so much encouragement and so much of a kick from below, I mean, a push to see how terrible the world of birth and death is, and so much of a attraction of the loving side from above, which is included within the songs and the bhajans. And Guru Maharaj told that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his songs, in his kirtans, is giving us the mood of worship and the mood of devotion, the mood of praise to the Lord, the mood of appreciation for the Vaishnavas. Everything is coming through those songs. So not to neglect the kirtans just because we don't have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20 devotees around us. And with the kirtans, of course, we need some kirtan, some Hari Katha, which is coming from a great wealth of direct recordings, as well as carefully prepared books, which are presenting the teachings of our masters in a carefully prepared way. The difficulty with recordings that we do know is that devotees may misunderstand what Guru Maharaj and Gurudev are saying. And now when those same instructions come into the books, then they're carefully prepared to try to make sure there isn't misunderstanding or wrong hearing, wrong transcription, which then if we hear wrong, then we can have a wrong conception, of course. So our hearing comes from public publications, from the books. So Krishna Kirtan, Krishna Katha, and Krishna Prasad. What you eat is what you are. If you eat in a place which is cooked by people with passion, cooked by people with the money as their goal for selling the food, then you're going to be affected by that. But if you can honor prasadam that's been prepared and cooked by devotees, offered to the Lord, bhoga that's offered to the Lord, and then accept that, then it is quite different. Again, it is very good if we've got others who are cooking and we are helping, and this way, so that we've got the interaction of the distribution, the preparation, the offering, the distribution, offering from one to another prasadam and accepting prasadam. But if we don't have others around us, we can still make our humble offering to the picture of the mad deities, which is Guru, Gauranga, Radha, and Krishna. Make a humble offering there. Their influence has come all over the world, and they will be happy to take your offering through the picture and honor their prasadam. And if we can be like one or two of our devotees, one devotee, I remember in particular, he wouldn't take anything outside except maybe water or something very plain, very simple. But he went to work with a tiffin of prasadam from home, and he didn't take any of the food outside. So, I mean, there are different grades of following these principles, but the principle is behind it all. So, sadhu sangha and going along with like-minded persons, and we are not all sadhus in the sense of who is Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, but the like-minded persons will help us. And to take our life seriously, to take our japa seriously, to take our reading in processes seriously. We want to be serious students and not whimsical or half-hearted, not take it seriously. Let's see what we can get away with dabbling in the material world without getting bitten. We want to just make that kind of clear distinction ourselves of what our conduct should be, what our thinking should be. And if you see Guru Maharaj and Gurudev's books, they are not telling us so much about our physical conduct. They're very much stressing on our internal view, our internal conduct. And from the internal, automatically the external follows suit. But adjusting to the environment, adjusting how we see others, engaging in the flow of honor for everybody, engaging in that self-analysis for finding our own weaknesses and faults and correcting them, and continuing our life with the constant chanting of the Lord's names. And yesterday, I was listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, and there's a sloka in Srimad Bhagavatam that we mentioned with the Brazilian devotees yesterday evening for me, but earlier yesterday for you. And that is a shloka that we're reading in the end of the 11th or the beginning of the 12th canto, where the instruction is being given to daily hear Srimad Bhagavatam in the association of devotees. So to hear in the morning Srimad Bhagavatam in the association of devotees, and then after that association in that gathering of devotees, like specifically mentioning, hearing Bhagavatam in the gathering of devotees. And then it said, and then to continually hear throughout the day. Now, as it turned out, I was hearing a recording with the headphones. And when I heard that, I thought, how did the sadhus, how did the practitioners, at least, how did the practitioners continue to hear throughout the day before recordings and headphones? So then I'm also thinking, you see, we do have the opportunity to really continue hearing throughout the day in this modern age, rather than hear a little bit now and again. We can hear. And so, I mean, that was evidence of it. And I thought, oh, yes. So we are able to do that now. So again, utilizing what is invented, utilizing everything for service. So not to throw away, well, none of you threw away your computers or your phones. You wouldn't be on the internet now. But not to throw away all of the inventions that have come along, but to utilize them carefully in the service line for Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, the processes of devotional service. But association, Naratam Nitai Prabhu, this is the principal point, association. And with that association, we will be encouraged to have good sadhana. When we're in the temple, everybody comes to Mangalarti. Means I'm also an everybody or a body amongst the everybody. So we automatically come to Mangalarti. We automatically get up early. We automatically have that time for chanting japa. Others are chanting japa. We are chanting japa. It is all very helpful. But in our life, everybody, we need to have a little self-discipline. Yogis of the previous ages had to have huge self-discipline. Sitting there, eating just the leaves that fall off the trees and all sorts of things like this. And not with their mind going off thinking of pizza and rice dal sabji or something like this. Ice cream. So they used to have to do a lot of self-control. Now we have to do some self-control, relatively speaking. But you've all heard that of the things that are uncontrollable, of uncontrollable things, Krishna says, I am the mind. So don't worry when the mind sometimes, if it often goes off in the wrong direction, doesn't really think about what we are chanting when we are chanting japa, does drift off when we are listening to Hare Katha, when we're listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, listening to Chaitanya Charitamrita. And by the way, I'm not saying that you should always be listening by a recording. Always best is live from a person. But with the recordings, by the way, when you find that you didn't give attention to the last couple of minutes when you're listening, you can rewind and play it again. There are many advantages. I'm telling you from experience, not from theory. Hare Krishna. Oh, and I want to ask, there's two things here, right? If you would like to answer, there is no loss or diminution in devotional advancement, as it's stated in Bhagavad Gita. And how can we fulfill the longing? Oh, okay. So I addressed the second part of your question. The first part of the question, there's no loss or diminution in devotional service. Yes. Both Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, everywhere is given is Nitya Sukriti. It is eternal Sukriti. But there is always something. Then now we can think, okay, so great, I can do anything and everything. And then as long as I do my worship and chant and take some prasadam and read one song, then I'm going to be okay. Even we can think, okay, we'll do our devotional things and then, there's be no loss if I go out and do other things. And in one sense, it's true, but what gain are you getting by doing other things? And what gain are you getting by such mentality? Because remember, offering a flower to the Lord, a very simple thing. If that's done by a pure devotee, that is one quality. If that's done by somebody who just neglectfully offers a flower, then that's another thing. And Krishna also says that I offer everything that's coming from my pure devotees, but I don't accept anything that's coming from the non-devotees and the envious, those who are envious of me. So we want to do everything with quality. Again, quality, what is our intention? And how much sukriti are we getting if we're not really doing our spiritual practices properly? But sukriti comes substantially when we are pleasing the Vaishnavas, those who truly have come to present to us, only come to this world to present to us Krishna consciousness. I mean, the quality of the Vaishnava who we are pleasing obviously is going to have a reflection on the quality of the sukriti, if you like. But it's not a business. We shouldn't be like approaching sukriti as a business transaction. Otherwise, again, we may think, okay, if I do this, then I'll be getting sukriti. But if our intention is self-centered still, then it may well be that we're actually doing karma and not bhakti. So always we want to be careful. And the proviso that, okay, you can do anything. And I mean, one may think, okay, so I can do anything and everything. And as long as I still try to get some sukriti, then I'll be okay. I'll keep on putting that in my bank account. But there is a small print there, or big print in red writing, actually. But if you make Vaishnava aparad, you can lose everything. You can lose that sukriti. That is the proviso, that if we make Vaishnava aparad, we can lose everything. So we must be very careful about these statements that there is no loss. I mean, Krishna is telling there's no loss or diminution, but must be very careful in our conduct. And okay, as Arjuna said, what happens if somebody tries and then they fail because it's just too hard? It takes energy to maintain, as every devotee knows, it takes energy to maintain devotional standards, devotional life. But to maintain that honor for what is devotional life, we must keep that. And the real point here too is that when the sukriti comes to a certain level, then we will be automatically only looking for our devotional life. It's just like in the material world, the businessman, he's like tuned to only look at everything from a businessman's eye. So what we see is, something the businessman sees as an opportunity, sees as something else. But in devotional life, then we'll start to see more and more, and then we will only see with a devotional eye. Everything is for the Lord. This has been promised to us, and that is the ingrained mood and nature of all the residents of Vrindavan. And this is being given to us by Nitai Gauranga, Guru and Gauranga. So no loss or diminution. And this is also encouraging to us for helping others, that we can think whatever good, whatever savor somebody can do, which is genuinely coming to our parampara, to our masters, then we are doing real good, proper good for that person, not putting a band-aid, one of the small bandages on something which is a serious wound, not just trying to cover it over or do something, within the mundane world. We're giving an opportunity for others to gain some sukriti, to take them on their journey home. And Gurudev, he was the master of that, the expert in distributing sukriti, distributing savor opportunity, and accepting savor for Guru Maharaj. Everything coming for Guru Maharaj, offering to Guru Maharaj. And we must see that and not think, oh, that's only for the Paramahamsas, and I take for myself this, do this. We have to survive in this world. I need a bigger car. I need, better this because everybody else has. We should be very careful about that. We must try to utilize everything as Krishna's, for Krishna's service. So preaching is distributing that Nitya Sukriti by telling people about Krishna, they're hearing, by engaging them in some service, then their energy is going to Krishna through Guru and Gauranga, through Guru, the Guru Parampara. And this way it is very hopeful and giving us also impetus to do what Mahaprabhu wants, to chant the holy name of the Lord, to worship the Lord, and to tell others about the Lord. So we want to maintain too this mood that we are not here in a selfish campaign. We're here in this completely selfless campaign, as given by Mahaprabhu, as given by Rupa Goswami, Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So this is some reflection on this theme. And we did have Paramananda Prabhu with us. Paramananda Prabhu, are you able to speak? You're not driving, are you? No, I hope not with two hands like this.
And Maharaj, we also have Bhakti Ashray Dandi Maharaj in the audience.
We do. Acha, Dandavat Pranam Maharaj. Dandavat. Is that a Mayapur curtain behind you? Hare Krishna. Okay, let us hear something from Paramananda, and I'm sure that Dandi Maharaj has also got something to add, happily, and all of you are with us. Rupanuga Prabhu is with us, hiding behind the steering wheel of his car. Or is that a photograph? In Australia, he's there. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, you covered nicely. I don't know what to say. I think the question was how to increase that hankering for the intensity. It's actually a very nicely put question by Nityananda. Excuse me. Narottam Nitai Prabhu.
Prabhu, can you speak a little closer to the microphone? You're very faint.
How about now, Maharaj?
Better, yes. Thank you.
So it was about how to develop the desire to increase the intensity. And quite often we heard expression by Srila Gurudev. If you want to be hungry, associate with Hare Krishna.
A little tricky internet connection, I think, Paramananda Prabhu.
Raj, I'm on the road, so it is tricky. So let's see if Dante Maharaj can say something, and maybe I will be in a better zone by then.
But I did catch at least one point that you made, which was that Gurudev would say, if you want to get some good, if you want to be hungry, if you want to get a good appetite, associate with those who are hungry.
Like you started, you said the answer is association. And that's where the answer is. And then we hear another confirmation from the Shastra. And this is one of the most quoted verses by Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj. And there's also from Srimad Bhagavatam by Kapila Muni. Satat prasanga mama virya sambido bhavanti hrit karnara sayana katha. Tajjosanata swapavarga vartmani shradharatir bhaktir anukramishati. So here is another answer. Associate with those who have the desire to intensely serve the Lord. Stay in the company of his devotees. And really, this is the answer. We can hardly add anything to that. This is the most full and the most deep answer to that question. And so many other things can be said. Like this morning, we touched a little bit on devotion and emotions. How one can have access to all the tools, we can say devotional tools, who can execute all the rules and regulations nicely by being nicely positioned, living in the ashram or in the mat. And then Srila Govinda Maharaj was asked that question by one devotee. He said, well, we can see those who are in the mat. They can practice very nicely. They have a better chance than the grihastas, householders. And Govinda Maharaj's answer was, as usually, we can say unique, unexpected. He said, yes, it might be the case. But it also might be the case when one has that opportunity and living in the ashram with all the access to the seva. There's plenty of seva from morning till evening. But in the same time, living in hell. So he points out that what is most important is the mood, regardless of what kind of situation we're in. The mood of devotion is needed to be cultivated. That sincere desire to serve, sincere desire to surrender. And again, just to conclude, I'm entering another mountainous area. The only qualification, and we hear this from Guru Maharaj, to get Krishna consciousness is to have a sincere hankering for it. There is no other qualification necessary, especially this time, at the time of Mahaprabhu. That's the only qualification. If you have that hankering, it will come to you. Krishna will provide himself everything. And we remember the story of Srila Jajavar Maharaj and so many other devotees. Whatever is necessary, it will come. If you fully surrender, Krishna will never abandon you. He will give you more and more. What he is going to give you will only take you closer and closer. Anything that will take you away. So Maharaj, the internet will get a little funny very soon. So please excuse it. I bow down and let Dante Maharaj to say a couple of words.
Jai. Yes. Many thanks, Paramananda. And Sripad Dandi Maharaj, are you ready? Humbly, we are all coming together to ask a few words from Your Holiness on the subject.
Dandavat to also Vaishnavas too. Dandavat, yes.
Dandavat.
Yeah, about inspiration and hankering in spiritual life. Yeah. I just thought hearing Paramananda Prabhu. We know Rupa Goswami said, Utsaham Nishayam Daryat Tatat Karma Pravartanat. It's very important to be utsaha or enthusiastic. But what will we do if we have not feeling enthusiasm? Then what we have to do? Maybe we cannot just to force ourselves to be enthusiastic. So what we can do? And in that case, we have the opportunity to more deep understand Sharanagati of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Then in this, we feel that we have no enthusiasm, maybe inspiration. And in that case, we can chant the songs of Sharanagati of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and his mood of such songs as Emana Durmati and other songs, this mood will be a little closer to us to understand. So, and actually it's question of humility. Then not everything depends on our force, on our abilities. And it's a way to develop humility and to pray to the Lord. This positive side, enthusiastic side, it will come to us by His mercy only, not but my own forces and practice, but by His mercy, and we have to pray by His mercy. It's also practical case to reflection, to reflect about Sharanagati principle, humility. Donya Atma Nivedana, Goprit Vyavarana. So by the mercy of Lord, Lord, by His mercy, put us to very difficult situation sometimes, and nothing bad. There cannot be nothing bad from His side. Everything is beautiful in harmony. Then why I am in this difficult situation? What is wrong? Then I should understand, analyze myself, and answer as usual is to pray to the Lord. Also Lord Brahma said, even Lord Brahma is in difficult situation. It's material world. Even Lord Brahma meets some difficulties. What to speak about us? Of course, even Shiva sometimes meet difficulties in this material world. And the answer from Lord Brahma is good advice from Lord Brahma himself and from Lord Shiva also, is to pray to the Lord for the mercy.
Jai. And another point that comes to my mind is when devotees lose enthusiasm to the extent that, like, they go away, they stop associating, they go away, or go, to other paths, thinking that that's going to, oh, I'll get something more there. Then when devotees go away from Guru Maharaj and Gurudev's line, and Gurudev seeing that when devotees going away from Guru Maharaj's line, which he knows, not only feels and sees, but he knows it's the greatest fortune, then Gurudev is always looking to see what aparad, what offense have they made that they are now going elsewhere. what happened, because they were on the track and now they're leaving the track. So when Gurudev is looking to see what is behind a devotee going away from the straight and narrow, as it were, then when Gurudev is looking in that way, then we must also look at ourselves. If we feel some tendency going in the wrong way, that we are losing our enthusiasm, or why should I do this, and getting more attraction to other philosophy or so many things. We can be attracted to a million, I was going to say, but a million billion things. That's what the material world is. We can be attracted by many things and put that as the priority and either leave aside or go to into the line of mental speculation, or even austerities, penances, and things which we can think are pious. Then if we look at ourselves, which we should do constantly, like our self-analysis, then if we feel that we're diminishing genuinely, that we're going off the straight and narrow, we must also think in the way that Gurudev thinks. What offense am I making? And we should look carefully, and if we can identify some places where in our consciousness or in our activities, then we are making offense to others, we should come and give obeisances and eat the humble pie. Isn't that an expression? And accept that we must come and be humble and pray for forgiveness if it's offense against the devotee. But, if we want to see the offense against the deity, offense against the Dharma, offense against Seva, we have to be a little careful when we come to devotional service, because we want to be offenseless. We want to be a smooth participant in the flow of Seva and not a resistant in the flow of Seva. So we must look at ourselves and see, okay, are we making some offense? And then we must try to come and be humble, give honor to others, not want honor for oneself, and genuinely come to pray for forgiveness. Hare Krishna. I felt one big weight on my shoulders for over a year at one time, because I was in Navadip, and some money went missing. Not my money, I didn't have any money, but something went missing, and we only had very few devotees around. And then we think, how can it go missing? And then this is also something which I understand. When you have some valuables in one's care, one should take care of those valuables, because if something is stolen, then the mind does go, so who's stolen it? Where's it gone? And anyway, something unfortunate happened, and some valuables, some money went missing. And then in my mind, I could only think like one person, like out of who else has access? How can it have gone missing? But I didn't say anything to anybody, but it was in my mind that kind of must be this person. And as time happened, it wasn't that person. But I felt very bad. It like scarred me that I'd identified, like in my mind, I'm thinking, even though it wasn't 100%, but still it was there, like this suspicion. And I was carrying that with me, because that devotee went back to another country. He went, and then I didn't see him or hear from him. And then I went to Malaysia. So we went to completely opposite places. And so after he'd gone back to his country, then it turned out what actually happened. And definitely, he was not involved at all. And I felt so bad, but he'd already gone to another country, and it was not the age of internet and this, that, and the other. And I don't even know where he lives or anything. Once they've gone away, how do we contact or know? And anyway, I went back to Navdeep for one of the festivals, and it was always in my mind, I want to pray to him for forgiveness. And anyway, after over a year, he also was in Navdeep while I was in Navdeep, and I went to him and told him everything, and I said, Prabhu, please forgive me, I had this thing in my mind. And he was so sweet. He said, because he said that incident, he didn't, he hardly remembered the incident, and he didn't feel that anyone had made any offense. And from his point of view, that's all very wonderful. But from my point of view, we're thinking something bad. We were thinking something bad. And I was wanting to pray for his forgiveness. And it really felt like a big weight off my mind. I really felt this was a very heavy thing from my side, that I'd thought that. And anyhow, my, like some personal experience, but to come, give obeisances and be clear and pray for all forgiveness, then we must do this. We must be conscious. And if we can do with heart, then still, Srila Guru Maharaj has given us a very good formula or good routine in our day. Every morning we're giving obeisances to the Vaishnavas. Every evening we're giving obeisances to the Vaishnavas and asking that forgiveness for anything that we've done wrong. This way that we're able to, naturally we're doing something wrong all the time, but this way, every morning and every evening we're praying to the Vaishnavas. In fact, if we chant Sakala Vaishnava Pade Mori Namaskar, that verse, and we're praying to all the Vaishnavas, past, present, and future, and to all of their feet too. So all of the feet of all the Vaishnavas, past, present, and future. But of course, our immediate association, we must be always careful in the association of Vaishnavas. So if you want to maintain your devotional life, step carefully. But don't be afraid of the Vaishnavas. Step carefully that we will keep our proper mentality in their association. And I do believe there's a verse which goes, Trinad api sunichina taror eva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtanya sada harihi. And Gurudev will be happy. I believe Guru Maharaj will be happy, and Srila Prabhupada will be happy, and all will be happy if we at least once mention this verse, which actually we've been basically each of us have been referring to in our talk today, but specifically we can mention that verse. To be more humble than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, give honor to others without wanting honor for oneself, and chant the name of the Lord constantly. There, Narottam Nitai Prabhu. Hare Krishna. And I see that we've got also the Ekadashi dates for around the world. So many thanks. The devotees have been hungry for this and help for the planning throughout the year. Then devotees now have the Ekadashi days. The link is in the chat box.
Yes, ma'am.
Click, click, click.
It was shared yesterday by Janardha Maharaj, and he was very kind, and he said, Dandi Maharaj sent me this link. So I'm sharing it with all of you.
All right, beautiful. Many thanks, Sripad Dandi Maharaj. Many thanks, Srila Janardha Maharaj, for these. The devotees want them, and now we have them. Wonderful. All right. Now I've lost my Zoom. I've lost you all. Okay, you're back. Suresh Krishna Prabhu has joined us, Lynn has joined us, Dana K has joined us in the meantime. And I think I said hello to everybody else. If not, I mean, hello means respects to everybody else. If not, please excuse me. And still, I can't get Facebook for some reason. Maybe I've been banned on Facebook. I have internet, but not Facebook.
Maharaj, please check the chat again because there is a question from Braja Sundari in Israel.
Hare Krishna, please accept my dandavats. As far as I know, today or yesterday, there was a day of appearance of Lord Parashuram. Really? I don't think it's on our calendar. I don't recall it being on our calendar. Maybe Dandi Maharaj can say. There are some dates which are floating around on others' calendars, which are not on the calendar of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. And it may be, I do not know the reason, sometimes that the day may not be known, or I do not know, but I believe it's not in our calendar. Dandi Maharaj can give a yes or a no. It was not, no. So I can't comment about the date. Why he stopped to help people after his mission? Well, Parashuram is Krishna himself, and he's coming, I mean, Krishna himself is an avatar of Krishna, so Krishna himself coming for a purpose. But did he stop helping people after his mission? Did Krishna stop helping people after he appeared? Did Mahaprabhu stop helping people after he appeared and disappeared? The Lord is always helping people. But do you want him to be always present to annihilate the miscreant armies? I'm not sure quite. Or as far as I know, he was born in Akshaya Tritiya, and yesterday we had this day. Did he? You are doing astrology. I don't know anything. I can't comment. I can't comment. Maybe someone can comment. Maybe Dandi, Sripad Dandi Maharaj, you can comment on this. And
Lord Parashuram, yes, very special. His mission was very special. His mission was to destroy bad kshatriyas. Happily for us, it was another yuga, because in our yuga, Lord is much more merciful than Lord Parashuram. Because if in our yuga Parashuram will appear, then he would destroy everyone. This is Kali Yuga. There's no good kshatriyas in this age. So happily in our yuga, Lord appeared as Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, Gadadhara, and in so many beautiful Vaishnavas. So yes, but Parashuram is Lila avatar. It's in the list of 10 avatars. We chant Jayadev Goswami's song on Janmashtami. This among 10 avatars. Of course, we worship avatars of Parashuram and other avatars. Of course, but yes, it's not a very important day, maybe, for our mother, Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. Maybe not so very important day. But of course, Lord Parashuram's avatar of the Lord, Lila avatar of the Lord, is worship. Also, of course, we pay attention to this. Maybe not so important that soon Nirsimha Chaturdashi will come. Very soon. Lord Nirsimha will appear. Similar mood, destroy demons. Similar mood. But in this day, Nirsimha Chaturdashi, Gurudev came into the Alma. So also Lord Nirsimha took some relates with Mahaprabhu, with his arati. Some relation with Mahaprabhu.
And
Lord Parashurama maybe not so important.
And the Lord will also mercifully come at the end of Kali Yuga with another kind of mercy, something similar to Parashurama, but more widespread, because Parashurama, he went for the Kshatriyas who were miscreant, out of the regulative principles, Kshatriyas who were doing wrong. But Kalki will come, and he'll not only focus on the Kshatriyas, he'll focus on a lot of people in order to give his mercy so that Satya Yuga can begin again. And then, dear devotees, you're going to have a long, long time before Kali Yuga comes back and the specific mercy of Mahaprabhu. And you're going to have a very long time before Kali Yuga comes back in the Kali Yuga when Avatari, the origin of all avatars, Mahaprabhu comes to distribute the greatest gift ever given to the universe in a whole day of Lord Brahma, which is a long, long time. So don't hang around, don't wait. And by the way, in our reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, we've been reading about Kali Yuga and what's going to happen. And still I'm going to say, don't hang around, don't wait. If you think you face some challenges now in doing your offerings and keeping our mind on Krishna consciousness, well, some much bigger challenges are coming as the Kali Yuga goes on. But throughout Kali Yuga, the fortunate will have recognition and connection with the holy name. Hare Krishna, back to basics. I have no idea what number it was, but Kalera dosha nide rajam asti hyeko mahan gunaha Ketanad eva Krishnasya mukta sangha parang prajet. Hare Krishna, ocean of faults, but there is certainly one good quality that certainly by chanting the names of Krishna, then one will get relief of all of this and reach the highest goal. Hare Krishna. So be thankful that you're in Kali Yuga. Yes, Maharaj.
I have remembered one link with Mahaprabhu Lila and Parashuram. Actually, it was Govinda and the Kashishwar Pandit came to Mahaprabhu to Puri. And Govinda and Kashishwar Pandit was disciples of Ishvara Puri. And Ishvara Puri taught them to serve Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu was a little so he came to Swarupa Damodar, and Mahaprabhu asked Swarupa Damodar, I'm a little confused. How can I accept my spiritual brother's service? Govinda is my spiritual brother, Kashishwara is my spiritual brother. How can I accept his service? From one point of view, they are spiritual brothers, so I cannot take service from spiritual brother. And from other point of view, Gurudev said that they should serve. So I should accept. So what is more important? And Swarupa Damodar said and answered that, of course, the spiritual master's instruction is more important. And he quotes one verse from Bhagavatam, from maybe not Bhagavatam, one big verse. And it says in this verse that Parashuram, by the order of spiritual master, killed his mother and other relatives. So it's very important to follow instruction of spiritual masters.
And that was a different age. We'll quickly put that big signboard up, as you pointed out at the beginning too. That was a different age.
Yes. What is most important to follow the order of spiritual master. So the spiritual master order you to accept the service of Govinda and conscious force. Then of course you have to accept. So the mother accepts it.
And some things in the scriptures are easier to digest, and some are less easy to digest. So on back to basics, we'll try to keep with the easy things to digest. Hare Krishna. For the advanced devotee section, then, because okay. No, but the point is very well made. And it's an extreme point to extremely make the point, an extreme example to extremely make the point. Hare Krishna. Back to basics, number 18, Kale Dosha Nide Rajan. With the word for word, I expect it is there. We certainly at some point have gone through the word for word of that. Hare Krishna. Dostin, you've joined us 1 hour late, but we're happy that you've joined us. Maybe you're not aware of California's change of time, but I think you are in California.
Hare Krishna. I'm in Las Vegas.
Well done. And in Las Vegas, they say, your luck can change just like that. So this is the nature of the world. So while we have good luck in this world, then we shall try to utilize that good luck and not squander it, not take it for granted. So yes, Dostin, so you are in California. The clocks changed by an hour, like a few weeks ago. Hare Krishna. But anyway, we do start an hour before now. We're just wrapping up for today, and happily with you all. And for some reason, unknown to me, I'm unable, even though I do have internet, I'm unable to connect to Facebook. We'll try to solve that problem anyhow in the meantime. And so those of you who are on Facebook and that we're not aware of, please, not aware of like knowing personally which ones, but our obeisances to you, our appreciation for you being there. To those of you who see the recorded version, our obeisances and our appreciation for you being there. And here we are on Zoom with all of the devotees here together happily. And so 23rd Sunday is Chandan Yatra of Sri Sri Jagannath, Akshaya Tritiya, a good day to start some works. And actually, the day that the Jagannath cart starts to be built. And we have been in Jagannath Puri, and not on, well, maybe on this day, but we've been in Jagannath Puri on this day, yes. The Chandan Yatra of Sri Jagannath Day, yes. Actually on this day. So anyway, today a good day for everybody.
And Maharaj, Dandavats from Nidupama Didi and from Michael Madhawa in California.
My Dandavat to you both in California and in Vilagovinda, Italy, to the two of you. And from Vilagovinda ashram in Italy, from Srila Gurudev's room in the ashram here, my obeisances to you all and my jais to Srila Gurudev, Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, Om Vishnupad Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and our Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Vaga, our big jais to all of our predecessor acharyas, Big jais to all the Vaishnavas present, all the worldwide Vaishnavas, to Sripad Dandi Maharaj, to Sripad Paramananda Prabhu, to all the senior devotees, and to all the devotees. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Jai Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki jai.
And Lynn sending obeisances by digital hands, and Vrindavaneshri Didi in Brazil also. To each of you, our obeisances. Have a good day in Seva. Chant Hare Krishna. Be happy. Keep the fire of devotional hankering, devotional service burning strongly, not to keep a feeble. Hare Krishna. Ami Ashchi.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Pradeshwar Didi, let's do it today before you go to sleep.
Yes. Chaya Tritiya. This is the beginning. And I'm going to share it as well here.
Actually, Akshaya Tritiya in our calendar is today. Akshaya Tritiya is today, not yesterday.
Yes, today for you in India, in Miami is tomorrow.
Oh, okay. And Charan Yatra, and Charan Yatra was before. It's actually because we follow Charan Yatra on Orissa calendar. It's order of Mahaprabhu. We not follow. We follow on in the same day as in Orissa in Puri. Charan Yatra, Ratha Yatra, and other cycles of Jagannath Lila. We follow by Orissa calendar, not Bengali calendar. So usually Charan Yatra is on Akshaya Tritiya, usually. But this year, Akshaya Tritiya and Charan Yatra is different days, because Tritiya is Bengali, on Bengal calendar, and Charan Yatra is on Orissa calendar. So it's little difficulty in calendar calculation.
Thank you very much. And we are very happy that you joined us today, Maharaj. So very nourishing association. And Paramananda Prabhu, Leela Shakti, Seva Rupa, Leela Moy, and all the devotees. And there is in the chat, from astrological point of view, this year, Akshaya Tritiya is between 2 days, 22 and 23rd of April. That's a comment from Braja.
Anyhow, we noticed about Dandi Maharaj did the calculation according to the Panjika used by Srila Saraswati Thakur, Guru Maharaj, and Gurudev, no doubt about it. So we will follow that.
Jai Hare Krishna, Dandava Pranam. Tomorrow, please start something new, something special, because it has the blessing. Thank you, Maharaj, for letting us know. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad.